These days, Kid Rock is actually Grandpa Rock. His son is all grown up with kids of his own, but he went through plenty of rough spots and tough times on the way there. From the moment of his conception, Bobby Jr. was the center of a domestic dispute. Kid Rock and his son's mother, a woman named Kelly South Russell, broke up just months after they welcomed Robert James Ritchie Jr. in 1993. Starting in the 8th grade, Kid Rock and Russell dated on and off for a decade, and even lived together for a while, but they weren't destined for wedded bliss. Drummer and engineer Bob Ebeling, who was Kid Rock's roommate for a while, recalled to the Detroit Free Press that there were some secrets going on in the household. He said, "There were 3 kids. He thought 2 of them were his, and then he found out that 1 of them wasn't." Ebeling said that Kid Rock was all torn up and brokenhearted, and he and Russell broke up. Russell packed her bags and skipped out, leaving behind Bobby Jr., the one that had sprung from Kid Rock. But this time, Papa Rock wasn't taking any chances. He launched a paternity suit in 1994 to confirm that Jr. was indeed his biological son, after which he obtained full custody and raised him as a single father. The problem was Kid Rock was in his early 20s at the time and was still working toward living his dream of bringing country rap rock to the world. That meant he was often away from home playing gigs. Since Kid Rock concerts are generally no place for toddlers, he usually left Bobby Jr. in the care of friends and family.
I had a lot of help. I had a great support system. My mother, my sister, his godmother, people like that.
He admitted that he wasn't always the most sober 20-something, but the responsibility of raising a child forced him to rein it in at least a little bit.
These are people that are like, I'm not going to watch your kid if you think you're going to go out drinking with your friends and, carrying on like you do.
Before Kid Rock got his big break, he was just like any other regular Joe in a sea of rap rockers struggling to make it in the cutthroat world of the 90s. In other words, he was broke. After his first label, Jive Records, dropped him in the early 1990s, Kid Rock moved back in with his parents, who weren't exactly living in a shack, to be fair. Kid Rock later said, "I'm not ashamed at all to say I was raised in a very upper-middle-class family. My father likes to joke that I'm the only rock star he knows of who doesn't have to support his parents." But there was strife on that front, too. Around the time of Bobby Jr.'s birth, Kid Rock was disenfranchised from his dad, as his pal Ebeling put it to the Detroit Free Press. That supposedly means he wasn't getting a stream of upper-middle-class cash to keep him and Bobby Jr. afloat. And Continuum, the small record label that the rapper signed with after Jive, wasn't mailing big checks either. It wasn't until Devil Without a Cause that the money started flowing in. And from that point on, nothing was ever the same.
My name is
That 1998 album eventually went on to sell 14 million copies and pretty much turned Kid Rock into a superstar overnight. Bobby Jr. was about 5 years old when he landed in the lap of luxury. Nowadays, he appears to be living a life just as lavish as that of the kids of other successful musicians. His Instagram is filled with photos of things like customized Cybertrucks, a lavish home, private jet flights, and trips to places like Cancun, Hawaii, and Morocco. He's also grown up hanging out with plenty of high-profile celebrities. There's nothing tragic about any of that, but unfortunately, there were some side effects to suddenly becoming the son of a megastar. In 2000, Bobby Jr.'s parents became embroiled in a nasty 10-month-long custody battle that went to court after his estranged mother attempted to regain custody. To recap briefly, Kid Rock had had permanent custody of Jr. since 1995, when an investigation discovered that Russell had issues with alcohol abuse and once slashed Kid Rock's leg with a knife. However, Russell claimed in her filing that she should have custody of their then 7-year-old son because Kid Rock, being the famous superstar that he was, wasn't able to spend enough time with the child due to his demanding career. She said that he had also rejected her request for Bobby Jr. to spend part of his summer vacation with her. The battle concluded in October 2000 when Kid Rock agreed to let Russell have more time with their son. However, in exchange, Russell had to pay him $25 per week in child support and cover part of their son's health insurance payments too. If you're thinking that $25 a week is a fairly paltry sum for someone with Kid Rock's wealth, you have the same suspicions that Russell's lawyer did at the time. She told the Detroit Free Press, "His position is that she needs to assume responsibility. My opinion is this is punishment." But that wasn't the last time lawyers had to get involved. That very same year, Russell also sued Kid Rock for defamation, alleging he made false claims about her in his song Black Chick, White Guy. The 1998 track is purportedly about their lengthy romance, and when you listen to the lyrics, well, they do seem a little on the nose. For example,
Only to realize later his little girl wasn't his.
And then there's this one.
The girl didn't even know who the father was.
Or maybe Russell was talking about this line.
3 different kids from 3 different men.
It's unclear how that case ended, but being a bargaining chip as your parents take petty shots at each other can't be a super positive experience for a 7-year-old. In July 2006, Kid Rock married Pamela Anderson. Bobby Jr. got a stepmother as well as 2 stepbrothers and her sons Brandon and Dylan, whom the Baywatch star shares with ex-Tommy Lee. The singer and actor dated on and off starting in 2001 before finally tying the knot on a yacht in Saint-Tropez. However, Kid Rock and Anderson's marriage was short-lived, and the pair filed for divorce less than 4 months after their wedding. According to Sacha Baron Cohen, Anderson claimed that Kid Rock's jealousy over her appearance in his movie Borat led to the end of their marriage.
Oh, Mel, will you marry me?
No thanks. Sorry.
No, agreement not necessary.
However, that explanation is at odds with Kid Rock's version of events. He's always said that the real cause was her actions toward Bobby Jr., as he revealed on Larry King Live in 2007. When I saw it starting to affect my son, when she would talk down about my mother and about my sister, 2 people who were very instrumental in raising my son with me, when I saw it starting to affect him, that's when I stepped back and I was like, that's it. And that's the morning I filed for divorce. Kid Rock also briefly discussed his infamous altercation at the 2007 MTV Video Music Awards when he punched Tommy Lee in the jaw. Afterwards, he realized that doing that might have affected his son's relationship with his step-siblings, admitting, "The only thing I was thinking about was my son and his 2 kids, and how does this affect them? They're the ones. My son is 14. He has to go to school. He's the one that's got to deal with these antics, you know?" Well, you know what they say, hindsight is 20/20. Hopefully their dad's fighting didn't affect Bobby Jr.'s friendship with Dylan and Brandon.
Are your kids friendly with each other?
They don't speak anymore, no.
Never mind. Being the child of a celebrity has many perks, but as history has shown, it can also be a pretty hellish ordeal. Especially if that celebrity dad has a reputation for going over the edge. When it comes to typical rock star behavior, Kid Rock has done it all. He's been arrested on 4 separate occasions, with an October 2007 skirmish at a Waffle House earning him a year of probation, alongside a $1,000 fine, 80 hours of community service, and 6 hours of anger management counseling. Kid Rock acknowledged to Esquire that he'll probably never escape the Waffle House backlash, but it was hardly the first time he got drunk and did dumb things. When Bobby Jr. was 7 years old, he found Kid Rock unconscious on the floor. Instead of making up an excuse, Kid Rock told him the blunt truth, saying, "Big concert, party afterward, I drank too much and passed out. I'm not proud of it, but that's what happens when you do that." Despite growing up finding his dad passed out in the bathroom and everything else that came with the rock star lifestyle, Bobby Jr. leads a surprisingly normal life. He graduated with a music business degree from Belmont University and founded an apparel brand. He also works as a social media manager and is the brand ambassador for that Happy Dad seltzer that started showing up everywhere. While Bobby Jr. also released some music, he appears to be dedicating equal or more time to his other ventures, his wife and their 2 children, Sky and Ryder. Not so tragic after all.